everyone, it's Sharona from Pay or Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing A Quiet Place 2, which is currently playing in theaters. This film is written and directed by John Krasinski. This film stars Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, Millicent Simmons, Noah Jupe, as this time around is following the events at home. The Abbott family must now face the terrors of the outside world. Forced to venture into the unknown, they realize that the creatures they hunt by sound may not be the only threats lurking beyond the sand. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, and should you pay or wait to see A Quiet Place 2 in theaters. So going into what I enjoyed about this film is first and foremost, it's very rare that you can actually have a sequel that not only lives up to its predecessor, but is able to still make you feel the same amount of emotions and surprises and fear as the previous film. And I think what A Quiet Place 2 gets right is not only does it continue the story for the Abbott family, but it actually introduces them into new circumstances that still makes it enjoyable for the audience, without making you feel like I've seen this before, they've done this before. And I really have to give them kudos from a writing standpoint for John Krasinski of actually giving the children more to do. Now that they're, spoiler alert, if you have not watched A Quiet Place, please pause this, go watch it, come back to this because I'm about to spoil something for you in the first film. But now that they've actually lost their father, they actually get a lot more screen time, but they have a lot more to do. Honestly, while watching the film, I was like, look at my babies all grown up. Look at them trying to save themselves and save other people around them. I'm here for it. But it's really Millicent Simmons who gets the chance to shine even brighter. She was a standout from the first film in A Quiet Place, but this time around, she's given a lot more to do and she nails it every single time. She's very captivating to watch on screen, but most importantly, because she is a deaf actress and them actually incorporating this into the film, from a sound editing standpoint, the fears raise up even more as you're being thrusted into this experience of what survival looks like through her character's eyes. And especially because as the sound editing takes the sound away, as it lets you know which characters it's focusing on, I think that really adds to some amazing moments and even more tension throughout the course of this film. Now, that's not to say that Noah Jupe, he does not hold his own as well. There is one scene in particular where I was just like, you guys, I cannot do this. I felt the pain through the screen of what his character was going through. I was not ready. I am still not ready. I can literally feel, I can see it in my mind, what happened and how I was feeling. I felt like it happened to me. I felt like I was going through. I was like, am I okay? Do I need to call paramedics in the screening right now? Because that's how much of the emotion that he's able to project through the screen. It makes you feel as though that you're going through this experience with him. Now, also too, Emily Blunt, who does take more of a secondary role in A Quiet Place 2, it doesn't take away from her performance of her being fantastic as usual, but I think it's really important to note that giving the younger talent more to do with them actually having a lot to really bear their own throughout the course of the film, I think that's something commendable because typically in films like this, it's usually the younger talent making poor decisions. You're just annoyed with the kids the entire time. Like, why are they here? This is why I would never want to have kids going through something like this. But they actually give them the meat to really shine and screen. And I really want to give a nod to John Krasinski for that because I think it's just absolutely fantastic to watch in the film. And that's what made me enjoy the film even more. More of these secondary characters stepping up while we're also being thrusted into new characters with Cillian Murphy, who is an underrated actor. And if you do not know who Cillian Murphy is, watch everything he's in because he's that good. And I need him to be an even bigger star than what he is already. But as with his addition, I really liked his character. I love the interactions that he does have with the Abbott family as you try to figure out how does he fit into this overall picture. I think he did a really fantastic job, and especially mixing in well with the Abbott family to the point where I was just like, hold up, was he a part of the family in the first one? Because the chemistry worked so well that you miss John Krasinski's character, but I feel like Cillian Murphy is such a fantastic addition to the story. Now, it does go into a prequel of what actually happened. What did that first day of invasion look like? And if you think that you saw most of it in the trailers, it actually goes into a lot more detail than I initially thought that it would. Now, overall for me, seeing the creatures again and really being thrusted into this experience of the terror. And maybe it was the Dolby seats, y'all. I will say, if you're going to see this in theaters, I would definitely tell you to go see it in Dolby. That's actually my theatrical experience that I had with the film. With the sound that is happening, even though you might think like, hey, it's A Quiet Place 2, there's not that much sound happening. I was jumping, I was moving, I was tensing up. I know the people in the press screen was like, who let this girl in? She cannot be a part of press doing all this moving, but it's actually being thrusted into these crazy situations with the Abbott family and the people that they come in contact with, as you see that the dangers are not only just the creatures, is actually what this invasion has done to the people over this past year and a half. That's what amps the stakes for these characters. That what makes you like scared. And if you think about it, you might think like, oh, this is kind of like The Walking Dead. Just no zombies, just replace the zombies for creatures. But it's still coming into contact with other people, not knowing them and not knowing how this invasion has affected them. I think that's what makes A Quiet Place 2 so enjoyable. What makes it so frightening was adds the tension to it. And what I would have to tell you guys to do with your coins, I would tell you how to pay to see this film in theaters. Now, I know what you're thinking, Sharana. This is just a perfect movie. You didn't have any issues with it. I really didn't. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of people know by now that there is a third movie in the works. So I would definitely say look at this film as acts, like A Quiet Place is Act 1, Act 2. And I will have to tell you, this film ends very abruptly to the point where I was like, hold up, did something just happen? Like, was it supposed to end here? Because I felt like this was very quick. But it does end abruptly. I do want to set you all with that expectation. But for me, I had a really great time watching this film. Great performances, great tension, great sound editing, just the look of the film itself. It's just so fun to watch. But that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling about it. Those are my thoughts on A Quiet Place 2. As always, my name is Sharana from Peril Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again.